tourism appeal.
The underwater world offers further evidence of the Singaporean skill at reproducing natural environments in limited space, providing easy access for visitors. This zoo of marine life, complete with man-eating predators, is one of the many attractions on the little resort island of Sentosa, 1 kilometre or so offshore and jam-packed with attractions. You're under the water here, viewing 400 species of marine life from below, but remaining safe and dry within a transparent tunnel. Chinese history, tradition, mythology and more are all on display at the Hao Pa Villa Park, with several theatres, lavish audio-visual presentations and adventure playgrounds. Up the road, a whole era of China's history has been reproduced, an entire 12-hectare village from the Tang dynasty. Attractions such as these are of interest not only for the locals, but for the over 5 million foreign tourists who come to Singapore annually.
Tourism is an important contributor to Singapore's economy. 1 in every 12 people in Singapore work in the tourism-related industry. Singapore's tourism receipts contribute to over $7.6 billion, Singapore dollars that is, to our GDP.
Singapore must have the biggest number of golf courses in relation to land area in the world. The Raffles Club, named after the man who got it all going in Singapore, is one of 6 with 18 holes. The limited land area here hasn't prevented the spread of leisure centres, with the most ingenious solutions being applied to create space.
In terms of why we run or why we have luxury hotels, I think that's more to do with the people. We are able to have a service within Asian hotels which is considered far superior to many other places in the world. The concentration and the number of people we actually employ in each hotel is far higher than it would be in many other international destinations, and the cultures lend themselves very well to the creation of a most excellent standard, particularly in terms of the service standards.
The Raffles Hotel has become a legend among hotels, frequented by royalty, diplomats, as well as writers such as Hemingway, Conrad, Kipling and Morn. The hotel was recently fully restored to its original shape.
The hotel actually started as a little bungalow house with about 10 rooms in 1887, and by 1915, all the wings were added and completed. The demand does not lie only in the suites. We only have 104 suites, but there are so many other facilities that guests can enjoy to just have a feel of Raffles Hotel. And that could be just having a drink, having a Singapore sling at the long bar or the bar and billiard room. It could be having a meal at the courtyard here, or the tiffin room for tiffin curry. So it's not just confined to the suites alone.
Fast, comprehensive and reliable air links with the outside world are a prerequisite for a society such as Singapore's. Today it has one of the very best airports in the world, and its carriers, Singapore Airlines, along with neighbouring Thai Air, are among the few national air carriers still returning regular profits.
Well, I think the European airlines have a problem with the cost of staff in relation to their total operating cost. And in our case, that our share of personnel cost in relation to our total operating cost is approximately only half of that of the European carriers.
This is where it all started, Singapore Harbour, a focal point on the world's ocean trade routes. Among the busiest in the world in terms of tonnage and a major point of transshipment. A free port on a platform of free trade. Doesn't this open up some leeway for doubtful dealings?
There is no corruption in Singapore. It's a clean society. I think the reason why Singapore has become such a clean society is the conscientious efforts by the present and previous leadership of the country. I'm thinking of Lee Kuan Yew himself in the first instance, to wipe out from the beginning all possible stains of malpractice, of bad practice in administration, in business, and to see to it that the Singapore administration and the Singapore business is as clean as at all is possible. I think they have succeeded.
Singapore is the financial center of Southeast Asia. Literally hundreds of foreign banks and financial institutions operate here. Significantly, a bank boasts the highest building in Southeast Asia. Banking and finance, together with an advanced electronics industry, form the mainstay of Singapore's economy. All this is backed up by a sophisticated international telecom system. Growth has slowed down, though, after the boom of the 80s, but it's still at a level that's the envy of many European nations.
If we had a growth rate of, like Singapore's, of around 5–6%, we would be very, very happy. And it's obvious that Singapore and the other ASEAN countries are having a slower growth, but I think it's healthy for them, and I think they themselves realize that it's healthy for them not to have a too rapid growth. You must, after all, in a way, you must consume your successes. You can't just go on year after year after year with growth rates of 10, 11%, as many of the countries here did during the 1980s. And I think that we will see in 10–15 years' time Southeast Asia combined with southern China and Indochina having a say in the world trade, which corresponds roughly to what Europe has, to what North America has, to what Japan has. That means that this part of the world will be the fourth leg of the world economy, which means that I think we have to already now pay much, much more attention to what is happening here than we unfortunately seem to be doing up to now.
Singapore has been described as a sweet shop for adults. The city is dotted with shopping centres displaying a staggering range of goods. But the prices aren't necessarily the cheapest in the world. In many cases, you can pick up better bargains in Hong Kong, for example. But it's still worth it, and you have to be prepared to haggle. And there can't be many places in the world that have the variety of food that's available here. From all four corners of the globe, with Oriental cuisine dominating, of course. No wonder business folk here often spend up to 2 hours or more closing deals over a chopstick lunch. The streets of Singapore are safe places, day or night. Singaporeans can enjoy their city. Incomes are good, unemployment is low, and life expectancy is today among the highest in the world.
I think the remarkable thing about Singapore is that the political leadership has always gone to the people, treated them as rational people, to say, this is the way we should do things, because these are the reasons. You have a recession, we must do these. People listen and say, yes, we have a recession. You must cut back on salary. There's no point killing the goose that lays the golden egg. But no individual is completely satisfied, you know. Press him or her, and there'll be something that they would want more. I think Singaporeans are just like that. It is not bread and butter now. It is what kind of jam you're going to have.